everyone and welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. Today I will be taking you on a stroll down memory lane with me. But before I begin, if you haven't subscribed as yet, please go ahead and do so. Leave a comment, like and share. You know, when you look around us today, there are so many forms of transportation. You have the buses, you have the trains, you have so many taxis, and you even have Uber. So wherever you want to go, you make a phone call and in no time you will be there. But I remember back in the days living in Asia in South Manchester, there weren't so many cars then like now. And I remember a lot of people would walk to get to where they want to go, because if you wanted to go to Newport, Lancaster or Woodstock, you would be walking. I can remember the few taxis that was on the road back then. I remember Floyd had a Ford Capri, a grey and black one. On the front of it marked Big Sledge. That was the fastest car on the road back then. And Brooksy and Foddick and Errol, they called him Littlehead. He drove a red matches box Cortina. And Arrow drove a blue matches box Cortina. And Kenwood drove an orange Escort. And Kenrick drove a green, I think that was a 1600 Ford Cortina back then. But those are the few cars I can remember being on the road. So most people would be walking, back and forth to get to where they have to go. I remember some people who had donkeys. They would be walking with the donkey as far as to Milk River and other places in Clarendon, because especially people who walk and buy load, they didn't have vehicles to call, so they would have to go and get the load to bring it to market, because that was their means of survival. I remember later on, Surrey came on the road. Surrey had a green bus, a small green bus, and the conductor on the bus was P. And Lenny Butler also had a bus, but that bus would run from Asia to Kingston, and that would only make one trip. So if you miss it going to Kingston, that is it, you'd have to go to Kingston on the following day. And I remember later you had Southern Tours. Southern Tours was a Tata bus owned by Altis Cave, and that bus would come out early in the morning, maybe 4:35. And you also had an Encava bus, which was owned by Dada. That bus was called Quick Flight, and in the mornings those buses would come out pretty early, as I said, maybe 4:30, 5 o'clock. And when the buses come out, all the schoolers from Pusey Hill, Prattville, Asia, Roomstone, going to the Carteret College, Manchester High School, Bishop Gibson, and people going to work, then they come out to get the bus, because, as I said, if you miss the bus, you would have to walk. But the thing with those two buses, they went through Farm and Ellen Street, and then they would come out at the entrance of Enfield. So the people who live in Lancaster and Woodstock, they would have to walk from there, go to the entrance of Enfield to get the bus, because, as I said, it came through Farm and Ellen Street. But sometimes when you get there, the bus is so packed that you could not get on. So you just have to continue walking. Sometimes you walk to Newport, you would get something from Newport to Mandeville. And that is just how it was. I remember later on, Bashment bus came on the road, and that really helped out. And after a while, cars keep coming and cars keep coming. And now there are so many cars on the same route. You can say, oh, I don't drive with that one, or you let that one pass and say, I'm waiting a bit. But, back then, you would have to plan when you're going into Mandeville. You'd have to decide if you're going to get Lenny or Southern Tours or Quick Flight in the early morning, or if you're going to wait until in the day and get Surrey or one of the taxis that I mentioned earlier. And when you look at it now, the same route that didn't have more than a few taxis and 3 buses, you have so many vehicles running up and down over it. But I'm happy I remember those days. And if you remember those days, keep the comments coming in. And as always, thanks for watching.